Hi everyone, Julianne Romanillo here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Today is March 8th of 2022, and I wanted to make a quick video to talk about some of the things that I see going on in my city of Tulsa, Oklahoma that are indications that we are moving into a new era of smart cities, of digital surveillance, and ultimately of the breakdown of rule of law and the end of our freedoms. So, Tulsa is in the heartland of the United States. We're from a red state. Oklahoma is generally a red state, but our city is being turned purple by a coalition of philanthropists, business, and the government, the city government. These entities are working together as is the model under inclusive capitalism, which is a new social compact between business, government, and civil society actors. That's when they say civil society, they mean the philanthropists, the foundations, the nonprofit industrial complex. So we have these three groups working together to turn our city purple. And if you Google that phrase, then you'll find that Tulsa is not at all the only place that's being turned purple. Purple is kind of a hallmark or a signature that is often used to indicate a New World Order program. So let me just go over a couple of things that I see as I'm out driving around and just looking at what's going on in my city. Number one is the graffiti. You can, as I commute downtown every day, several times a day, and the graffiti it's expanding. It is not being removed, and I notice it all over. I mean, it's in our parks, it's, around intersections, it's all over. And this is part of a demoralization effort. I mean, it really and truly is. It is designed to make it look like we have a crime problem and to, just get people on edge. It's to make things ugly. It's to make things base so that we feel like things are falling apart, okay? I'm sure that you can notice that in your city. My friend Lynn Davenport in Dallas, Texas, posted some photos along one of the highways down there, and there was litter everywhere. And we see that here in Tulsa too, and it's a noticeable difference from how things were several years ago, okay? And I would submit to you that it's deliberate. We have a huge problem with individuals who are homeless, and I want to try to be as sensitive as I can because I'm talking about human beings. These are people. But right now in Tulsa, and I think also in Oklahoma City, these individuals are being bussed in, and the reports that I get, and I cannot verify these independently with, like my own conversations with these homeless individuals, but from sources that I trust that share with me information, we're seeing people from larger cities who are being told that there's work here, that there are government services and services from the philanthropic sector that will help provide for their basic needs, and they're given a bus ticket and then they're brought here. And I don't know what the follow-up is with them. I don't think that there is any follow-up, except maybe to give them a phone that's going to track and trace them. We have a real-time homeless population count tracker. This is, it's part of rolling out blockchain digital identity to track these individuals' movements. You can tell that these people are sick. They're in need of mental care. They're in need of physical care. And there are more and more of them. You can see tent cities that are erected all along the highways. They're erected on, small patches of green space in our concrete jungle that is downtown. And it's probably going on in your city as well, especially if you have a lot of philanthropic foundations that are going to provide services to these individuals, a wraparound service model, in partnership with the government, whether it's the city or the state government, in order to track impact and make money doing these social engineering programs. Okay, so we've got graffiti, we have litter, we have homeless population, we have the roads that are in disarray, we have the rollout of all of these fiber optic cable networks, the rollout of cameras, the rollout of antennas on buildings, in neighborhoods. We have these large, ugly poles that are being put up all over the city. Okay, it's being done at night, and they'll probably say, "Oh, well, that's because traffic is bad or whatever." No. Like, let's be real here. It's because they don't want to bring attention to the fact, so that every morning you just see a little bit more of the rollout of these cables. And I want to say, if you work in this industry, you're setting up the infrastructure for a digital prison for all of us. Okay, so you might be getting a paycheck right now, but we're really condemning our children to a terrible future. Okay, we also have a program where we're going to do real-time surveillance. This is a partnership between the Tulsa Police Department and the mayor's office, and they're using, I believe it's Las Vegas as a model. Okay, so we're moving to a pre-crime unit. This is Tulsa, Oklahoma, a red state. Let me tell you that the red states are going to be very bad. Why? Because people are getting sick of, the medical side of this situation that we've been in for a couple of years, right? And so they're looking to red states to open up and to lift the, requirements to cover your face and all of this. You're going to hear a lot of talk about economic development, which is also the same thing as workforce development. Now, the economy is being demolished on purpose. Why? So that we can so that the social engineers, the bankers, the politicians that work for them, really nasty people, and then others who just get swept along in rhetoric and just follow the program unthinkingly. They are implementing a plan to control the industries that are available in each area of the country, each area of the state and the city. You have a few target industries, and the powers that be want to prop up those industries in each area where they've been agreed upon to have a foothold in those areas, and they want to reconfigure the workforce to supply the manpower for those industries. Okay, now many people don't want to work in those industries because they're fourth industrial revolution industries. It's a lot of coding, it's a lot of working as basically a tool to train robots, to train AI that are going to later replace you. Okay, so how do you get people to move into those sectors of the economy that they don't really want to work in? Well, you collapse the economy, you force small businesses, independent businesses, to close, even while you're maintaining big box stores and Amazon and other digital providers of goods and services. Okay, you cut off people's options. So that's what we're seeing happening here. Everyone's going to be desperate for work. I think it's not going to take long, and then they're going to have to do what? They're going to have to go back and retrain at institutions of higher education or trade schools that have been totally co-opted by impact investors, foundations, and people who are part of the social engineering agenda. Okay, now it sounds crazy. I have to watch my time. I only have maybe a minute or two left. It sounds crazy, but because most of us are naive, most of us are optimists, most of us think that our neighbors are decent people, and we think that our politicians might be, just misguided or ignorant of what's going on. But Americans, you have to wake up. Wake up. This is how I get into a rant. I said last week I was working myself up to a rant, right? This is it. These things are happening. If you look around and you look at who's buying up properties in your city, you'll be able to see that there are a few front companies for large real estate buyers. You can look at the architecture and the renovated storefronts along your main boulevards in your city, and that architecture all looks the same. Everything in this program works according to a template. The language is always the same. The types of programs are always the same. The architecture is always the same. The style is always the same. The cadence that people use when they talk about it, it's always the same. Okay, so Americans, you've got to wise up. You've got to start recognizing patterns that are pretty easy to recognize once you're clued into them. You have to take a little bit of time to download a couple of corporate white papers and look at the big four accounting firms. They are not messing around. They're moving to a new type of economy that is not about creating wealth. It's about managing resources, and you are the resource that it's going to manage. So I could talk about this for a long time, but I'm just going to cut it off here and say, folks, it's going to come here last. It's going to come to the red states last. Why? Because it's going to get ugly. Now, maybe we can preempt it. I think there's some things that I think that we can do, and I'm going to have a conversation with a friend, Brendan O'Connell, about these things. So I'll let you know when that conversation is ready. There are things that we can do, but first of all, you have to acknowledge the reality of what's going on in your city. So look at my posts, see what's happening in Tulsa. I can guarantee you that it's happening in your city, whether you're in the United States or in another country, in an English-speaking country, or in some other place. So just please take this seriously. It only takes a few minutes. If you invest, say, an hour, 2 hours of time into just basic Google searches, I think that you will start to see these patterns. So please do yourself and do your children this favor. Thanks so much for watching.